what are the different ways people could invest in real estate, let's say, because there's within their retirement account?
Yeah. So for a little bit of context, the IRA accounts, there's a general average like account size of just above $100,000. So when you talk about buying a home or that you're going to rent, or an apartment that you're going to rent, that really does kind of limit what you're able to invest into. So
And that's just like the average of like all IRAs.
all IRAs, yeah. If you include 401ks in there, it might be a little bit higher, but just IRAs. And a lot of that is based on, remember, the contribution limit being so low. And if you didn't start when you're 17 like you did, or 16, but there's a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, just checking, because that just puts it in context. I didn't know if that was a Midland thing or what. That's just all IRAs, nationwide.
All
That's
IRAs. It's in that ballpark. It might not be exact, but it's in that ballpark. But so the most common way that people invest into real estate is through partnerships, like through an LLC, where someone can invest $10, $15, $25,000 into a project, and they might be able to invest into multiple different projects at once. Again, more diversification, the better. Or to invest into a fund that's doing different projects. So that's the most common way that we see people invest into real estate, I'd say.
And then what are I'd like to get into, I guess, all the ways, because I know there's a lot of like things to work around if you start doing want to invest in real estate. Different than that. Because for me personally, what I have found, and you can just add color as we go, but normally like all the deals I do, I'm the sponsor, so I'm on the loan. If there's a carve out guarantee, which means the loan's non-recourse, but if some sort of act's done, like you commit fraud or don't you don't use the rents to pay the mortgage or misappropriated insurance proceeds, like then it becomes a recourse loan. So like I'm on those kind of carve outs, or a number of our loans are just full recourse to begin with to me individually, where if there's any non-repayment of interest or principal, then it's recourse to me personally. And I'm also the decision maker on the entity buying it. I'm the manager. And so what I had learned with investing in retirement accounts is you can't be on the loan in any capacity individually, even on non-recourse carve-outs. So that limits a bit what you could do. So then what was the easiest for me is I had a friend who went to UW-Madison with me, and he was doing some really nice deals around Chicago and taking dollar amounts that like I had, where not every real estate sponsor is going to take $15,000 from someone. They might have $100,000 minimum, which then, to your point, that could be someone's entire retirement account, which and that's not smart either. Put all your money in one deal. So then, and definitely not if it's your your retirement account. So that so I have but I know people, they are able to work around that. Obviously the easiest way would be you buy a property all cash. Now there's no debt involved. How would someone, if they wanted to buy a property on their own in their retirement account, do it?
Yeah. So the thing that you touched on that makes it difficult and is often confused in our industry is that, all right, great, I got $50,000 in my IRA account. I'm going to put 20% down, and then I'll leverage the rest. Unfortunately, there's a IRS restriction that doesn't allow one of those disqualified persons, which is the account holder in this case, to sign a personal guarantee on a loan. So it has to be a specialized loan, that's a non-recourse loan, to where it's the IRA that's taking on the debt, and then the rents that accumulate off of that property are used to pay for it. And the lending criteria can be pretty stringent, and not as 20% down and everything will take care of its own. So it really limits. Most of the properties that I've experienced in my 12 years at Midland have all been cash deals, whether it's cash deal where I have all of the money in my IRA account. So I'm buying a property that's $200,000, but I have enough to cover that. Or it's cash deals in that, like, you and I can go together and you can use an IRA and I can use cash, and together we're buying this property cash. Those are the most common ways that we see it. And then one of the things too, just administratively keep in mind, when you own real estate inside your IRA account, any expenses related to that property and any proceeds for the investment have to come in and out of the IRA account. So when that tax bill comes due, it's actually your administrator that pays that out of your account balance versus you stroking the check from your personal account.
Right. And which tax bill are you talking about?
Property taxes, I should say, yeah.
Thanks for joining us on the Rise and Invest podcast. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube or wherever you enjoy your podcasts. If you'd like to dive even deeper into real estate investing, check out our company's website, riseinvest.com. If you are an accredited investor, you can get started today as a passive investor in our multifamily investment opportunities by hitting the Invest Now button on our website.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of Drew Breneman and guests as of the date of recording and do not purport to reflect the views or opinions of Rise Invest Holdings LLC and its subsidiaries. The views and opinions are provided for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon or deemed as investment or tax advice or an offer to buy or sell securities, and the speaker cannot be held responsible for any direct or incidental loss incurred by applying any of the information offered.